how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you tune in and see this. So this is going to be a general reading for air sign Gemini for August 19th through August 31st. It is a general reading, okay, so it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. So always take it how it resonates for you if it does. And I also wanted to say that this reading is timeless, okay? So for instance, for some of you guys, it could resonate 6 months in the past or 6 months in the future, a year in the past or a year in the future, okay? Sometimes it takes time for things to manifest, okay? So always take it how it resonates, right? And then I also wanted to say that if you haven't already got a free birth chart online, I always encourage everyone to do that just by Googling it, even if you don't know your exact birth time, to find out your other placements. For instance, what's your sun, moon, rising, and even Venus signs, okay? Because sometimes, depending on what's going on in your life, your different aspects can resonate more or less, okay? So always keep that in mind as well. So we're going to go over a couple astrology notes that are general for everybody at this time. And if you've seen some of the other readings for this series and you want to skip ahead, I will be providing a timestamp if you want to just skip ahead to the tarot reading. But we're just going to go ahead and start with the astrology notes. Okay, so we have one of the bigger things that we're going to be talking about, okay, is on August 19th. Uranus, okay, is going to be in retrograde, okay, starting on August 19th, and it goes all the way until January of 2022 of next year, all right? So Uranus, right, is the ruler of Aquarius, okay, and then the following day, or a couple of days, right, on August 22nd, we have a full moon in Aquarius, right? So since Uranus is going to be in retrograde and it's the ruler of Aquarius, there could be some overlap there if you have Aquarius in your chart, as we all do. I always encourage everyone, right, to, like I said earlier, check out your other placements, okay? But basically, Uranus represents individuality, originality, technology, rebellion, innovation, shock value, surprises, dynamic change. And so a lot of those things could be more subdued during this retrograde time frame, okay? But since this Uranus retrograde is in Taurus, I think it's in like 14 degrees of Taurus or whatever it is, because we had, I forgot to mention, we had earlier this year in January, we had Uranus, it was in retrograde in Taurus as well, okay, but this is the second time. So when it's in Taurus, it can deal with themes like money, security, stability, our bodies, right, and also where and what we value, okay, so that would be like, the biggest thing I would definitely pay attention to during this time period, okay. And then on the same day that we have that full moon in Aquarius on August 22nd, we also have the start of Virgo season, okay, so the sun enters into Virgo. And then on August 30th, Mercury enters into air sign Libra, okay, so Mercury rules, it rules Gemini and Virgo a little bit, but it, deals with themes of communication, electronics, all of those things, okay, so then when it deals with the Libra side, it would be more of that equal give and take, that balance, or like beauty themes, okay, so that could be of a particular note for some of you guys during this time. And also on the same day, on August 30th, we have a last quarter moon, okay, so that is pretty much it for the astrology note. So Gemini, real quickly, I wanted to say that if you guys are new, welcome, of course. And if you're coming back, welcome back, of course, as well. I really appreciate all your guys' support in any way that you do that. I tell everyone that I always take one photo at the end of all the cards that I pulled for you here today, in case you want to pull it up while you watch or listen, or look at it in a more detailed view at a later time. So if you want to do that, you can just click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on how and where to find the photo, okay? But I'll also try to put it somewhere in the background here, really small in this video as well later. Yeah, so we'll start with the first main 6 cards in the center, okay? So that's the 2-week period that we're talking about right now. okay? But if you're watching it at a later time, it can be however it resonates for you. It could be a 2-week period, it could be 2 years, it could be 2 months, etc. So we're going to start there in the first main 6 cards though, and then we'll go outwards into the tarot confirmation cards, and at the very end, your oracle cards, okay? So let's call out your cards here. So you have Queen of Swords in the right side up position. You have the Temperance card right side up. You have the Justice card in the reverse. You have Judgment card right side up. You have 5 of Sacred Circles up, right side up. And then you have 4 of Cups right side up. Okay. So also wanted to say too that if this isn't your reading or your story, it doesn't fit your timeline, never fit something, right? Or force something that doesn't fit is what I meant to say. So that's why I always tell people to check out their other placements too. But, you know, before we get into your reading here, Gemini, this could be your energy, or it could be the energy of the person or people, organization you're dealing with, or a general environment situation, okay? But we're going to start here. This is the first card, the Queen of Swords in the right side up position. This is a really nice energy, okay, of being, you know, really mentally capable and having your emotions properly balanced, okay? So you use your emotions, right, to help you figure things out, but you're not clouded by them, okay? As you see this, like, Japanese woman that's, like, standing really tall, almost like a giant over this little island here in the ocean, okay? And so she is very stable in her position, right? People literally look up to her, right? Since she's a queen, but also because she's a giant in this depiction, okay? But there's a really beautiful abundance energy to this card of stacking your abundance, right? But having this beautiful mental clarity and your emotions in control, okay? So this could be energy starting, you know, at the beginning of your reading. It could be a little bit before, a little bit after August 19th, right? It's not exact, okay? But really nice energy here, Gemini. And then your second card, okay, is the Temperance card in the right side up position. So Gemini, with this second card here, your Temperance card in the right side up position, this is a really nice card to follow that Queen of Swords that you had starting off your reading with, okay? Because she also has water in this card, right? So this is a card of patience, okay? It's a card of balancing between the 3D and the 5D, right? The conscious and the subconscious and the conscious, right? So she has 1 foot on the land and 1 foot in the water here, okay? And it's very, you know, transmutable energy, even alchemy with this Native American woman, you know, pouring the water back and forth between these 2 bowls here, okay? Some of you could be dealing with the Sagittarius card, you know, in the tarot. They could have a lot of Sagittarius in their chart, or you could, or it could be nothing at all. It could just be, you know, this energy of this patience and the balancing of, you know, the emotions again. And that's really what I feel for you, since it's following that Queen of Swords, you know, as the first card here. All right. So moving forward here, Gemini, your third card here is the Justice card in the reverse position, okay? And this is more maybe towards the end of that first week, or even that first weekend of the 19th, right? But something, you know, wasn't judged correctly, or something wasn't justified, okay? Somebody's actions or your actions, okay? It really just depends. It's a general reading, right? But when it's in the reverse position, it could also be that there is not a balance with somebody's intuition and their intellect in regards to whatever wasn't justified, or wasn't brought to justice in the right way, okay, or the correct way, however you want to say it here. But yeah, we will find out more, you know, as we go throughout your reading and we talk about your confirmation cards too. We were just talking about the Justice card, right, in the reverse position as your third card. And then literally your next card here is the Judgment card in the right side up position, okay? So whatever we were talking about before in that first week that wasn't justified or brought to justice, or you didn't like the judgment, right, that was being served, okay? It looks like
don't worry about that too much, okay, because then there's another judgment that comes in, okay. So this is like really intense energy, okay, I would definitely say, you know, but we'll get into really quickly right here, you know, why at least the Judgment card has come up on the right side of position, okay, because this is where my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about what is on the top and the bottom of your other deck here. This is the Llewellyn deck, the one with the yellow border that I use for the confirmation cards. But anyway, this is past energy, why certain cards have come out, and just past energy lingering, you know, underneath your reading, okay? But literally, again, your card on the top, okay, is Judgment in the right side up position, okay, just like this one from the recent past, okay. And then on the bottom of your deck is the Hanged Man in the right side up position. So like I said, this is like really intense energy, and this could be, you know, when you ask yourself like, okay, what is my recent past? It's different for everybody. It could be a couple of months ago, it could be a couple of years ago even, you know, really just depends, okay. But there was some type of judgment. So there was some type of judgment in the recent past, okay? Something, you know, that you or the other person could have been questioning, like, do I want to revisit this? Do I want to rebirth this? Okay, do I want to bring something back to life? Okay, for some of you guys. And then when it's paired with this Hanged Man or Hanged One, whatever they call it in this deck, right? This is like you need to see something, or you're starting to in the recent past see something from a new perspective, a new angle, a new philosophy, a new way of life, whatever, okay? But it's actually a very good card, and it's a good thing to follow, you know, the Judgment card as well. So even if you look at these two cards together, Gemini, right, the two Judgment cards, right, this is your current energy here, and this is the past energy, right? So it's like something's coming back or can be triggering you from something that happened in the past, okay, where there was some type of judgment where you were considering bringing something back to life, or a judgment being made, okay, something being brought to justice, right? And then you had to decide, am I looking at this from the right angle, from the right perspective, you know, all of those things, okay? So when it's coming in and it's confirming the other Judgment card, it's pretty much, you know, saying the same thing. The only other thing I would say, as far as when we talk about the Judgment card in this deck, the way it's depicted, right? You see this woman here, and she's like actually punching a mirror, okay? So when you have the mirror that talks about issues of ego and identity, and so if there was a judgment that was made that didn't sit right with you or the other person or a bunch of people, whatever it may be, that don't take that to like a self-destructive side or place, right? So try to work with whatever judgment was made. When we're talking about, again, this Judgment card and the right side up position, when it's following the Justice in reverse, I really feel like for the majority of you, this is a really positive thing, okay? Or it's giving somebody a second chance to, again, look at something and say, do I want to revisit this, rework this, rebirth it, okay, bring it back to life, however you want to, you know, say it here, okay, Gemini? So I would just, you know, see where you fall within those, like, contexts there, okay? But moving forward, your fifth card here is the Five of Sacred Circles, or also known as the Five of Pentacles upright, okay? So this is an energy of stacking your abundance slowly, okay? But also it talks about like a spiritual ritual, or looking to do some kind of spiritual growth in some way. Okay, so really small in the card here, you see these two Native American women, and one of them is wearing this headdress, and the other one is holding the door open for this woman to come out of the hut, right? And so they're going to start this spiritual retreat or ritual that they're going to do, okay? So it's really also about, you know, being that person for yourself, right? Of
you know, you don't have to necessarily reach out to somebody else here, Gemini, as far as them being like a spiritual mentor for you or a spiritual teacher, that you can embody that and do it yourself as long as you feel you have support around you. Your sixth card here is the Four of Cups in the right side up position. Okay, so this talks about somebody, it could be you yourself or the other person, environment, right, is not happy with the current circumstances or situations or options that they've been given. Okay, here Gemini, you can see this guy's posture. He's kind of just like, okay, whatever, I don't like what I have right now. Okay, but what he doesn't realize is that there's this other fourth cup that's just right outside of his view. Okay, so if he hangs in there and if he stays a little patient, or he looks at the situation from, again, a different angle or viewpoint, like they did in the past when you had that hanged man in the right side up position in the past. Okay, so Gemini, so we were just talking about your Four of Cups card, right? And so along with this is actually where my spirit guides want me to talk to you about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here. Okay, so again, this is like kind of past energy, why certain cards have come up, or, you know, just past energy lingering around. Okay, so what is the recent past? You always have to ask yourself what that means for you, right? But anyway, you have the Five of Staves in the reverse position, or also known as Five of Wands in the reverse position, and then you have the Seven of Sacred Circles, or Seven of Pentacles in the reverse position. Okay, so this is saying that in the recent past, there was some type of situation here, Gemini, where there was not enough playing and planning and practicing for the future. Okay, in a more less serious way. Like, yes, planning is serious, but if you do it in a way where you are leaning on your support system, right, of your friends or family, to take things not as seriously, or say, oh, what if it goes this way, or what if you consider this, or what if you do this, and to then just practice, okay, and then plan those things out. Somebody in the past didn't want to do that, or didn't have enough of that, okay, going on. And then also with this Seven of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, this is another planning card, right? So normally you'd be planning for the fall, the winter, right? This Native American card where they're planning for the harvest, but it's in reverse. So somebody in the recent past was really not planning enough for the future, not having that practice, playful energy, and relying on their support system and trying things out in a different way. And this is kind of what led to this Four of Cups energy at the end of your reading here in the sixth card, okay? But now let's get into your confirmation cards to find out, you know, even more what's going on here, okay? Your confirmation cards, right? I'll go ahead and call them out, and then we'll go in order, okay? So you have the Five of Wands upright, you have Six of Wands upright, and then you have the Devil in the reverse position. All right. So your first two confirmation cards are past energy, okay? But it's really interesting because you have here the Five of Wands upright, okay? But we just talked about, where did it go? In that past energy, okay, they're both past energy. One is reverse and one is right side up, okay? So staves in the deck are the same thing as wands, right? So it's really interesting. So it's like in the way back past, maybe in some way, okay? Or it could be energy, like kind of hopping back and forth, like going from one side to the other, not sure still what's kind of going on, just changing your mind a lot, right? Which could definitely be, since you are an air sign, you could have more a tendency to do that, okay? But here in the more not way back past with this one, but more recent past with this one, okay, it's right side up. So it looks like you started to change that from the past and bring in more playing and practicing and planning for the future, and not taking things as seriously or leaning on your support system here with this Five of Wands on the right side up position. All right. So anyway, and it's coming in here and it's confirming the Queen of Swords right side up and the Judgment card right side up here, okay? This is basically just telling us that the more that you're able to get into that Five of Wands upright energy. You can get into that Queen energy of having the mental clarity, balancing your emotions, having a lot of support around you, people looking up to you, being more abundant, moving forward, okay? And also, with this Judgment card here, this Five of Wands energy could help you in the future when you have that Judgment in that second to the second week or the last week of August, right? Or even the first week of September, it depends, not exact, right? Where you have this Judgment taking place. This Five of Wands energy could be saving you or saving the other person or however you take it, however it resonates, right? From taking the Judgment into, excuse me, that place where you or they could become like self-destructive or self-destructive, okay? So this Five of Wands is really like a nice energy to protect you from that and just go ahead and deal with whatever judgment, you know, is being made here, okay? Sorry, my cards went everywhere. Okay. So your second tarot confirmation card is the Six of Wands in the right side up position here. And this is again some past energy, Gemini, right? But this is really beautiful for momentum. You see this guy on his horse. He's galloping forward. It's also a celebration or celebratory energy, right? With all these ribbons and wreaths all around the wands here, right? And you can see like the tail end of the horse in front of him and these wands in the background. So it also is like this very supportive energy, okay? So when it's coming in here and it's confirming the Five of Sacred Circles upright and the Temperance card in the right side up position, this could be saying for you that the reason why you were able to get into that energy of the Temperance, of being more patient, of balancing your emotions, right, of just slowing down in some way is because of that, celebratory energy that's around you, okay, or that more supportive energy that is around you. So that is really beautiful, right? And then also, when this Six of Wands upright is confirming the Five of Sacred Circles upright, this is saying that the more support you have or reasons to celebrate, then you feel like you can go ahead and take that break, whatever it means for you, and go into the energy of this Five of Sacred Circles and go into that spiritual retreat or that spiritual ritual that you need to take, the spiritual growth that you know you need to do, okay, and slowly still stack your abundance while you're doing that, all right? Your last confirmation card here is the Horned One in the reverse position, also known as the Devil in the reverse position, and this is a little bit of past and future energy here, okay? But this is how you want to see this card regardless, okay? It's in the reverse position, so it means that a little bit in the recent past and a little bit in the future, you're able to balance your more animalistic side in a better way, okay? So, when the Devil is the right side up position, it would be like self-sabotaging energy. It can be addictions, it can be all of those things, but you aren't giving into that, so that is good. So Gemini, when this Devil in the reverse position is coming in here and is confirming the Justice in the reverse position and the Four of Cups right side up, okay? So this is basically saying that the more that you can, again, balance your more animalistic side, right, of letting go of any self-sabotaging energy or addictions in some way, okay, the more that you can try to deal with that that justice in that first week that didn't go according to the way you wanted, okay? But also, the more that you, in the future, right, because this is past and future energy with the Devil in the reverse, the more that you're able to let go of any addictions or balance your animalistic side more, let go of any self-sabotaging energy, the more that you're able to do that, the more that you can finally see that fourth cup, right? So when you have the Four of Cups and he's not happy with his current circumstances or situations, that could be the current judgment or justice situations that we were talking about in your reading, that heavy energy, right? If he changes his perspective, right? Just like we talked about in the past, you did, okay? You can do it again, right? With the Hanged Man in the right side up position. Change your perspective, your angle. Sorry, guys. Your viewpoint, or however you look at the situation, or if you just remain patient too, then the universe will bring in that fourth cup, which will be better circumstances, better people, better situations, okay? Something you vibe with better, okay? Just everything for the better if you just hang in there a little bit, okay? So, into your oracle cards here before you go. It's a little bit of more lighter energy, hopefully, all right? So, let's start with your first oracle card, all right? This is the Rebecca Campbell deck here, all right? And anyway, it's a really beautiful card. It looks like this figure in the center, you can't see their face, right? But there's all this beautiful energy around them and stars and crystals, and it looks like Mother Mary or something, and then there's a bunch of crystals, but I don't know. Anyway, the card says messenger, right? And it's talking about Sirius energy, the star Sirius, or the constellation Sirius energy. Okay, I think I'm saying that right. And it's talking about bringing harmony and balance, okay? So I don't know if you guys can see that card there. But again, you can also look up like Rebecca Campbell card and type in this name, and it'll give you a couple paragraphs and even like a meditation to do if that's something that you're interested in, okay? But for everybody else, if you don't want to go that deep into it, it's just really talking about bringing in more harmony and balance for yourself during this time period. Might be really beneficial, of course, right? Okay. And then your second oracle message, whether you're watching for romantic reasons or platonic love with friends or family, or even self-love, all of the above, right, is attraction, okay? And it says you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully, okay? So being more in the present moment, okay, is definitely a positive thing to help you ground yourself, right? Not to be stressed out about the future, or you know, over analyzing the past, let's say, but just kind of really staying in that present moment will make you more attractive to others, but also you will be more in that self-love zone for yourself too, okay? But always take it how it resonates for you. And then your last oracle message here, I changed it up this time, guys. I took out the animal spirit guides for a little bit, and I'm working with the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, okay, oracle deck. So anyway, you can always find all that info in the description box below. But the card that you got this time is the Ring Master of Scrutiny, okay? So it talks about discernment, clear visions, and details, okay? And you see this kind of wizard-looking guy, and he's holding a wand, and there's his books and his magnifying glass and a rat. So a lot of stuff here in the card. I don't know if you can see that. Again, you know, you have to take all these things how it resonates for you, but what I really feel, right, with all that kind of heavy energy we were talking about during your reading, with the Justice in the reverse, and then the two Judgment cards right side up, and you had the Five of Wands 2 times from 2 different decks, all those things that we were talking about. I really feel like it goes in, you know, comparison, or in union, I mean, not comparison, but in union with this discernment, clear visions, detail, the scrutiny card that we were just talking about. So that could be really a particular message at this time for you guys to pay attention to, all right? So anyway, Gemini, that is your reading. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for your likes, for your shares, for your subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Anything you do always does help my channel, okay? And if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to, it is free. All you have to do is click on the bell icon in the bottom right and just make sure it's blue and active, and it'll just notify you when I put out new readings. You can customize it to all readings or just certain zodiac signs, you know, whatever you prefer. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this period, and you guys take care of yourselves. And please feel free, as always, to let me know in the comments down below if this resonated for you, if you want to say hi or anything like that. So You guys take care, and I'll see you guys later. All right.